Oh, so sweet. Train like a pro. Day 5. All right, we just finished the wife's honey-do list, sort of, and now it's time for the long run. So let's get after it today.
Look, I know you're in the building, rapper. Studios are always in buildings, man. They're not outside to give a speech. Somebody said the classics never go out of style, but that's a stupid thing to say because they actually do. And judging by the people that are setting all the standards, all of us go out of style too. Oh lordy Lou, I swear to Christ, I'm sure to screw or something. Now the only music bumping is that 1980s hairband-esque pop rap. I'd rather beat a dead horse than throw a saddle on it and ride it. Man, it ain't going nowhere. You ever seen an Irish pothead that flows with no hair? I got a little Buddha belly, but I don't really care. See, I could never date a girl that's on a magazine cover, cause self-absorbed women don't make good lovers. Motherfucker, just because it's hard to write don't make it.
Alright, I'm making dinner here. I'm making a little kind of Korean meatball, stir-fry rice, little kind of these bowls that my wife and I like to eat. I'm gonna have all this stuff whipped up by the time my wife gets home, and she's gonna be able to just quickly and easily reheat it. I'm gonna look like a freaking hero, and I'm gonna be able to get to go play golf. So while I'm rolling out these meatballs here, I kind of wanted to tell you guys the story of how I met my wife. Cassie, you know her, she's been on the channel. We are currently expecting our first child, a little baby boy, as you guys also know, which we're very excited about. Meatball goodness right there. But the story of how we met is pretty fun. It's starts out with kind of a little glimpse into what our lives used to look like. So both myself and Cassie were really into rock climbing for a little while there. That's how we initially met. My buddy Nick and I organized a little climbing weekend. I knew this guy named Nate who worked at a coffee shop, and he said, hey, can I bring my coworker? And they weren't together or anything. He just wanted to bring his coworker, who was Cassie, and I didn't know that. He just said, hey, can I bring my coworker? So I didn't know what to expect. Like, yeah, sure, the more the merrier. There was probably like, I don't know, 8 of us total, maybe 10 at one point on that climbing trip. One other girl named Sarah, who I had originally brought down with me, and I was like interested in like maybe trying to, you know, court Sarah, if you will. And Sarah and I had ridden together in the car on the way down there. It was about probably a 2-hour drive or so from Denver, where we were living at the time. Man, I started getting frustrated with Sarah based on how her dog was behaving and then how she was responding to it. It was like her dog kept whining and barking occasionally, and every time she would turn around and yell no at the dog and like try and get it to stop. And I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, dude, who gives a shit? Like, with the music's on, like, let her whine. She's excited. I was already getting annoyed on the way down there. Then I get down there and I meet Cassie and we get set up at camp. And, you know, we just hung out all weekend. Cassie was initially supposed to leave earlier, like a day or two earlier. And she ended up staying for the full, like, 3-day weekend, I think it was. And this whole time, I'm getting more and more annoyed. This girl, Sarah, who I went down there with initially, and I'm starting to like Cassie more and more as we're hanging out throughout the weekend. Eventually, I asked for Cassie's phone number, and that's how we met, and that's how we started hanging out. Our first date was also a climb, a really cool 4-pitch climb. Just outside of Denver up in Clear Creek. The rest is history, as they say. You know, just enjoying kind of the, I guess you could say, the sweetness of life, as Mike Lebecki puts it. next few years, we kept climbing together and going on all sorts of adventures. I actually had built out a van back when van life was just starting to become cool on Instagram. I had a 2002 Chevy 1500 Express. I bought it super cheap with low miles on it before this was like a popular thing, and it inflated the price of vans ridiculously. And we built it out and took it all over the place. We took it all the way up to Oregon and then completely down Highway 1 in California, that coastal highway, all the way from the top to the bottom, and brought it to Utah, Wyoming, all over the state of Colorado. We had a lot of fun with it. So that's kind of the story of how we met and our journey together kind of before we got married. So dinner's ready for the wife, we're good, we can go golf. That's all that needed to be done. Bang.